Welcome again, guys. I'm here to share more information that is happening here in Canada and pertaining predominantly to international students. Again, I want to place emphasis that my experience here is as an international student. So if you want to come here as a farm worker or if you want to come here under express entry as a skilled worker, I won't be able to provide you with that information. Unfortunately, that's not the pathway I took. But to get into what's really happening here in Canada, and it's breaking news. Breaking news, and it's really something that international students who are currently residing in Canada was hoping to happen, and it didn't. So on April 16th, 2021, the government of Canada announced 6 new pathways for temporary residents to convert their temporary resident status into PR status, permanent residence. Now, a temporary residence just means that you already must be residing in Canada. These 6 new pathway that has developed has nothing to do with persons who are trying to come to Canada, right? I need to make that very clear because the announcement came out and persons are thinking that, oh, I'm living in Jamaica, I want to be an international student, but not realizing that this pathway is a one-time opportunity and it's for students who are already in Canada. So it's not only for students, it's for healthcare workers in frontline healthcare workers. It's for essential workers in a particular field based on how the government categorized that. Again, I'm not talking about those two aspects. I'm talking about the international student aspect of it because it's what I'm more familiar with. So I'm going to break down what the new pathway stands for and means for international students who are currently in Canada. All right, here's a requirement. So first and foremost, you would have to be enrolled in a school no earlier than January 2017. A Canadian school, not just any school, a Canadian school. That's what we're talking about, right? You must have enrolled in that school with a valid study permit. Secondly, you must have been granted at the end of your study a diploma, a certificate, a master's, or whatever the case may be, whatever you came here to study as, you must have completed that program. And at the end of that program, then you would have applied for what is a work permit. That is the natural step in the process. Now in 2021, they're saying you must be working in Canada. It did not say you had to be full-time. It did not say you had to be part-time. It did not mention being skilled or being unskilled. You must be working in Canada at the time you are making this application, right? You must be working in Canada and residing in Canada. Another point, the school that you attended, it must have been a designated learning institution. And from the video before, I explained what a designated learning institution is, and for who missed it then, it's basically a school that has a number assigned to it that has been assessed by the government of Canada to be one of those schools that is allowed to entertain international students. Another point, you must do an English test. The English test isn't hard. Well, I can't speak for myself. The English test wasn't hard, and you need to get a minimum of 5 out of 4 categories. So the categories are reading, writing, speaking, and listening. And the cap for each category is 12, and they're saying you need to have a benchmark of 5 in each category. So if you got 3 of them, you did 3 of them, you got over 5, and then there's one that you got below, then you just really have to take over the test until you have satisfied that requirement. At the time of the application, you must not be admissible to Canada. You must not be here illegally, basically. You must be here satisfying all of those other requirements that I mentioned for you to qualify under this new pathway. So people, I felt it was important to have this video particularly. It takes away from what I originally wanted to talk about. The new development is driving a lot of questions that need to be answered, so people are clear about what it actually is. So I felt like I needed to do a video about it. And again, for more clarity, if you want to know more information, please send me a message and I will respond to you. And there's another question that a friend, well, a young lady asked me, and she said to me if she needed sponsorship to come to Canada as an international student. I don't know where that information came about, but the answer to the question is no. You don't need a sponsorship to come to Canada as an international student. You don't need a lawyer. You don't need to have no distance relative, brothers or sister, or third cousin or auntie or uncle or grandmother living in Canada. Essentially, if you can pay for your tuition fee, that is the ultimate determined factor. Besides, I hope you're not a criminal or have criminal record, because that plays a part in whether you're going to be approved for a study permit or not. But essentially, if you can satisfy covering your tuition fee, you are 90% there. Everything else, the other 10%, is just a little time consuming to come by. But don't get a lawyer. Don't get a sponsor. You don't need to have a job offer letter from Canada or Canadian company saying that, hey, they're going to be responsible for you. I never had any of those. I had $1 and a dream. Literally $1 and a dream. So I want you guys to not take a lot of random information. I like I said, I don't know where she got this information about sponsorship, but it's not something that is required. And I'm going to make a video as to what I did exactly at different stages in the process, so we can have a more understanding about how to do it with not having all of those other non-essential things to the process. Like, yeah. So thank you again for watching. I am looking forward to making more videos. I'm looking forward to answering questions. So please reach out to me and I'll certainly help you. So thank you for watching again.